Hello and welcome to another update video about Dogecoin. So who let the dogs out, right? I've got a dog, so it's time to do a Dogecoin update, especially as we have seen some very nice upside today. But as you know, I'm not only covering cryptos when they go up, I make you aware of breakouts before they occur. Last Dogecoin video, and I don't cover it very often, last Dogecoin video was here around the on the 13th of Feb actually. And I showed you back then here this descending wedge. And I showed you here this wave pattern. So we can see here, this was the wave 1 to the upside. We were coming down in a wave 2, and the next wave up already indicated on this chart here was the wave 3. We did come into this wave 2 target area and did expect a turnaround from here with the highest probability between the 88.7% fib level and the 78.6% fib level. And again, in my opinion, a confirmation that TA works, that the elite wave method works, that if you do predict the right, or if you do calculate the right wave count and the right wave pattern, that you're able to very accurately say when there will be a trend reversal. Now, admittedly, it's still very, very early days. So in the end, look at this chart and what actually happened. The price did break out. Let me just delete this. I think this was from a one-to-one Zoom call where I made someone aware what I think is going to happen. But what actually happened is exactly what we expected here. The price broke out of the apex of this descending wedge, a bullish reversal pattern. The price then broke above this 50-day moving average here in orange at around 13 cents. And the price then broke here out to the upside. Tested first that resistance level here at the 88.7% fib level. No, sorry, at the 78.6, yeah, and then exited the target area and is now very, very close to the 200-day moving average. Generally, what we can see is that the price, and if I zoom in, the price tried to break above this previous swing high. It failed so far, but it still made a higher high. But the daily candle is currently at a risk not to close above this level. This is the first very important level for Dogecoin to get above 16.6, 16.7 cents. You can see that here. Very nice accumulation pattern. However, it has now been rejected exactly here at the 200-day moving average. And this is an important level to get through. So first, this 16.6 cent level, and then you have a cluster of resistances, because it's not only this 16.6 cent level, it's also here this previous high at 18.4 cents, and this is exactly where the 200-day moving average is sitting. So it's basically here a range of resistances that it needs to get beyond. And I think if the price is able to move above 18.4 cents, then we should see the next major boost for Dogecoin, because it would mean that it will break above the 200-day moving average. Now, in my opinion, at the moment, as you can see, despite today's pump, and it did perform quite well since the 18th of March, overall, when the breakout eventually happened of that bullish reversal pattern, the price now moved up around 60%. That is pretty much what Ethereum did since the low as well. And it is still very early, because we cannot yet see here a first impulse. At the moment, you only get 3 waves. As I always say, to really understand if the reversal already happened, you need to see 5 waves, and ideally then already an ABC afterwards. So basically you see 5 waves up, 3 waves down, make a higher low, and then you can much more accurately predict if we're going to go up or down. When we're exactly at this turnaround point, there is still a lot of downside potential, and we also shouldn't forget that the price did turn around here in the middle of nowhere. The 88.7% fib level as applied on this chart is here at 8.5 cents. So there was still a little bit more downside. So at the moment, overall, as you can see here, even though we broke out of this descending wedge, we are still making here a series of lower highs. And until we really break above this previous one here at 21.4 cents, I think this is the first really main one that we need to get above. So when we break above the 200-day moving average, I think the next major one here is 21.5 cents. And then this will be a big area to get through here at 28.5 cents. That's also the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, the most important Fibonacci retracement level. And I think only if we really break above that one, then we can be much more certain that the low is already in. Unfortunately, we have to always be careful with that, right? Because if you do not cross above these levels, which are so relevant for a correction or so relevant for the chart, then there is still a lot of downside potential. So at the moment, it's starting to look good, yeah, but don't forget that we're just below a very important resistance level. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get here rejected for now. Of course, nobody knows until we break that level, but this is the very important one. I mean, so far here on this channel, we made you aware of this descending wedge, made you aware of the target area. The price did turn around, but it might still be, for me personally, it's too early to confirm that we're already on our way up, yeah, and that we have seen the low. It's just too early. It's making a first really good attempt, but bear in mind, we did the same thing here when we started to move up. Yeah, we did not here reach the target area yet anyway, but since the price reached the target area, I've turned bullish on most altcoins, even though I'm still skeptical. But I told you all along, as soon as we reach this area between the 88.7% Fib level and the 78.6% Fib level, after you do your ABC correction, yeah, then it is much more likely that we are going to turn around. So also here, it made its very nice very clear A wave, B wave, C wave down, yeah, and this is where we are. And the wave too low, which is now, by the way, here, the wave too low could be in. It could also come a little bit later, and we might drop once more, maybe to that 8.5 cent level if Bitcoin corrects once more down. That is absolutely possible. So far, we are not out of the woods. Yes, we've seen some nice upside, but you know, we've seen upside here, we've seen upside here, we've seen upside here, and everything was still in the correction. And now we see upside here, which is good, which is nice, but just want to remind you that we have not yet crossed above key levels, and we haven't even crossed yet above the first major high. Yes, we did make a higher high, but we are not yet above it. So ideally what you want, and it currently looks a bit like that, we currently need to make that higher high on the daily, and ideally you want the daily candle close above the 16.5 cent level. If we go to the 4-hour chart, starting to look interesting, because on the 4-hour chart you can see that the first 4-hour chart closed above 60, the last 4-hour candle closed above 16.5 cents, and it looks like with this candle here that we retested the support line, and we're now starting to move higher. We also see some volume come in, and all of that is really good. And bear in mind, today we were already nearly at 18 cents. Of course, we were overbought, therefore you saw a bit of a rejection. But generally, yeah, I'm quite positive here about the chart. See some very first good signs, but objectively, it's still too early to confirm that we already are on our way up. Yeah, I mean, you could potentially, yeah, you can't really count it as an impulse yet. I think we need at least another wave up, and then you see your ABC down, then we can be more certain. But very important for now is to break above this 16.5 cent level. We're currently above it. We need to maintain it. Ideally, I mean, in a few hours, couple of hours, the daily candle is closing. So this is what I'm actually waiting for. Generally, we need to be a bit careful, because on the daily chart, as I just mentioned, you are overbought on the RSI. So the MACD is not losing any buying momentum yet. It did start to lose it, but it's regained it, which is a bullish signal. And the RSI is now overbought above 70. So, well, this is good on one hand that you get positive momentum, but as soon as you see this drop down, and it normally starts on the lower time frames, then it's time to be a bit careful. Yeah, I mean, we need to remember that it's only really just doing its first attempt to move higher. Yeah, it's only really just starting to move higher. So it's really just very much in the beginning. Yeah, so yeah. However, we're already a bit exhausted on the shorter time frames. So there might be here at some point, yeah, in the near future, there will be another correction. Yeah, after we obviously broke out of that pattern, mainly around 60%. It's only logical that there will be some profit taking along the way, but it could be only the beginning. But then we need to move through these important levels now. Yeah, good to see, you know, why other cryptos are quite weak or getting rejected from some certain resistance levels. We can see now Dogecoin catching up. However, we see at the moment most cryptos are getting rejected at this 200-day moving average. It seems to be, or it typically is, quite an important resistance level. So that is the key one that needs to be broken as well. Good. That's my view on Dogecoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.